Story time. Story time. Story time. This one I call She Had Roaches and a Fatty. Before we get started, I just want to let y'all know this one is this is a very special story to me because it's the last time me and my brother had an exchange before he passed away. You probably like, why Tom got on sunglasses in the dark room? My eyes was red because we're approaching the anniversary of him passing. So I just want to tell this story, have a good time, laugh, and celebrate my brother. His name was Terry Swoop. He was a huge YouTuber, over 500,000 subscribers. So if you guys ever get a chance to check out his channel on YouTube, it's Terry Swoop Videos. But let's get into the story. I met a girl casually just on Facebook, just nothing. We were friends on Facebook for years, never really reached out to her. Extremely beautiful girl. Always thought she was in a relationship. So, you know, one time I'm talking to my brother on the phone and he like, why don't you just slide in her DM and see what's popping? So I'm like, he knew her. We both knew of her because she's from where we're from. So I slide into the DM, you know, just on some, hey, you know, because we had been liking each other's pictures and photos and whatnot. I slid in, no problem. Come to find out, she's a huge fan of mine. She always watched my podcast. She was, you know, like, hey, I remember this episode from a couple years ago. I listened to that when I work out. And I'm like, you a fan? Like, she knew more about my show than I knew about my show. I forgot. So I was like, you know, oh, wow. But she told me she had just moved to Las Vegas. And I was like, that's crazy. My brother lives in Las Vegas. And so she had moved to Henderson, which is just outside of Las Vegas. We, you know, correspond, you know, over the phone, talking stuff like that, FaceTime or whatever, building a little bit of a bond or whatever. So I had been checking flights, see if I can just scoot out there because I was going to surprise my brother anyway because he had just got a new place. So I was like, let me slide out to Vegas on the humbug, surprise my brother, tap in with old girl while I'm there, kill two birds with one stone, right? So this is where it gets sort of like a little silly. So like I find this great flight to Vegas, like round trip first class for like $220. I'm like, bet, let's do it. So fly to Vegas, get off the plane. I'm like, let me go check into my hotel. I needed to buy a jacket because I had talked to old girl about going somewhere, but I didn't. It was a little colder than what I thought, so I still needed a jacket. So I was like, let me shoot to the store, get a jacket. Call my brother. I'm like, hey, shoot me the address to your new place. I'm in town. I'm gonna surprise you, come over. You know what I'm saying? He like, whoa, well, that's gonna be a problem. And I'm like, what you mean? He's like, yeah, I'm standing outside your house about to surprise you. My brother done flew all the way to Ohio to surprise me, and I done flew to Vegas to surprise him. I'm like, what? So, you know, he like, yeah, you can stay at my crib. I got the code on the door or whatever, and you can just get in that way. And I was like, nah, I already had checked into a hotel because I got the little situation with the girl. And he like, yeah, he's like, Henderson real rough, you know what I'm saying? So you might want to, you know, keep an eye on the situation. So I'm like, okay, bet, I'll keep my eye out, right? So I'm talking to old girl, we supposed to go out that night. And so she's like, Tom, we can go out tonight. I really want to spend some time with you, but I'm supposed to be on the news tonight. And I'm like, on the news? What you gonna be on the news for? And she's like, well, I had some problems with my HOA fees, and then my landlord is a slumlord, and I had to take him to court about the situation or whatever, but the news channel is doing a whole report, and it's supposed to come on tonight. A little curious, you know, I ain't think nothing of it. So she was like, we sort of got to go, we can go out early, but then we got to come back, and then we got to go back out early, and then, you know, whatever. So I was like, okay, no biggie, I'm here for a couple days, let's just, you know, do what we can or whatever. So I go over her house around 3:34. When I'm at her house, you know, chilling, waiting for her to come down, she told me she got an email from her landlord saying that the water was going to be cut off for an hour because there was some kind of situation with the water main or something like that. And so I told her, I was like, most of them places don't even be staying open past 5:30. And she's like, we should be fine. You know what I'm saying? It'll come back on eventually. We go out, have a drink. We come back before the first like 6:30 news broadcast came on. So we watched that news broadcast. They never showed the story. So we were like, well, we'll just go out and then we'll catch the one at 11. Hopefully they'll show it by the end. But her water wasn't on still. What you gonna do about the water not being on? And she's like, they'll be fine. It'll come on eventually. And so her son had went in the bathroom and took a shit. And I was like, you know, the water's not on. And he's like, oh, okay. So, you know, that shit just about to be in the toilet to keep it a buck. Couldn't flush the toilet, you know, whatever. Water's not on. So we go back out. We, you know, have some drinks, get something to eat. We talking, laughing. She telling me about the situation. You know, she telling me like, you know, it was fun for me to come out there and kick it with her and have a good time or whatnot. So we lightweight bonded, you know, having a nice little moment. And she's like real nervous about the broadcast that's going to be on later. And I'm like, well, you know, hopefully the water get cut back on and, you know, you fix the situation with your landlord or whatever. So we get back to her crib. So it's probably around 10:30, 10:35. News comes on at 11. So I'm sitting on the couch. She went and fixed me a drink. You know, we, you know, on the couch sort of messing around. And she's sort of like, I got to use the bathroom. And I'm like, is the water back on yet? And she's like, no. And this is pissing me off. I I was like, why don't you and your kids go get a hotel room and just chalk it? Ain't no telling when they gonna come and cut the water back on. And so my brother, he texted me. He was like, y'all, you having fun over in, I guess it's Henderson. I guess it's a rough area or whatever. He said, be careful out there. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole bunch of like, hood shit that be going down out there or whatever. So I'm like, I'm cool. Everything's going sweet. So we back on the couch. We chilling. You know what I'm saying? And, she started kissing on my neck. Shorty bad. Like, I mean, bad. Waist, boobs, face, booty, everything. Like, shorty bad. No complaints from the audience, right? So we getting a little frisky. But then, she like, the news is about to come on. But at the same time, like, she like, keep grabbing her stomach. She like, I gotta use the bathroom. And I was like, I mean, why don't you just leave and go to a hotel? Like, what I'm saying? This is crazy. And she's like, what if I leave and then they come and cut the water back on and they can't get in? I'm like, they cut the water off to the area. Like, all the houses don't have water. So it's not like they doing individual houses. So you don't have to be here. That's basically what I was trying to tell her. Like, what I'm saying? So she was just like, okay, I'll look into it as soon as, I watch the broadcast or whatever. Her stomach bubbling. She's leave and she goes in the bathroom. So she uses the bathroom. Make a long story short, she went in there and took a shit in the toilet that already has shit in it that her son had previously shit. And now they've compounded the shit on top of the shit. So it's a double shit in the shit turd. And so I'm like, that shit nasty. I'm from the hood. I grew up, what I'm saying? Water get cut off. You get a couple brown bags. You shit in that bag, throw the bag away. Okay. I'm definitely not going to keep shitting in a toilet that don't work. So she come out the bathroom. Ain't no running water. So I'm like, you ain't got no bottled water? Nothing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, how you gonna wash your hands? And she's like, oh, I do got some bottled water. So she grabs some bottled water. She washes her hands and she comes back and sits on the couch. I'm sort of turned off at this point because of the double shit incident. So I'm like, all right, so we sitting on the couch. The news comes on. I'm just gonna tell y'all right now, buckle up. About to go for a little bit of a ride. So the news comes on. And so the dudes, you know how the news people be like, and our I-team report has just been out and we have a shocking story. And she's sitting there and she like, oh, they about to tell the story. Ooh, they about to, now he gonna get what he deserved. Now they about to do. Our I-team reporters have discovered critters in the valley. And I'm like, what are you talking about, critters? Like, and he's like, viewers, if you've got a queasy stomach, you don't want to watch this video. Please be advised. I'm like, critters? Please be advised. What in the hell is about to happen on this show? So she like on the edge of her seat, like this is prime time made for TV moments about to be happening. So at this point, I'm like, what the is about to happen? So I'm looking at the TV screen, like, so our I-10 reporters interviewed, blank Isha. And so blank Isha, what do you have to say about the situation? It's trifling. I can't believe I've never had to live like this. And I just want to show you, I've tried to get exterminators. I've tried to get this. I tried to get that. Now in my head, I'm thinking a rat, a possum, a raccoon, something like that. He said critters. Comes into the house. She takes the dude like in the kitchen behind the refrigerator. So he peels that back and like it's a roach family reunion. Like roaches everywhere, like all in the walls. And I'm like, you got me over here in Roach Village? My grandmother had roaches when I grew up. I can't stand roaches. Like can't stand roaches at all. Soon as I saw it, like my skin started crawling. I felt itching, everything. I text my brother. I'm like, bro, this chick got roaches. All I saw was a whole bunch of laughing emojis, like for like 2 minutes. That's all he kept saying to me was a laughing emoji. You still got roaches? And she's like, yeah, they're crazy. I'm looking around because I'm like, I didn't see no roaches. And she's like, no, I got this sonic thing. And it's like, long as I have it on, they won't come out. And I'm like, I ain't never heard of no goofy shit like that. What do you mean you got some sonic thing? And so I'm like, I'm sitting on the couch and I'm like, oh shit, I'm gonna have to burn everything I got on. No, roaches. It's 2021 and you still got roaches. What? And she was like, it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. I'm like, it's on the news. You had the news come out and do it. It's a big deal. You got me over. I'm offended. You got me in your crib and you got roaches like this to the point that you on the TV station, you know what I'm saying? Because your landlord won't, hire a professional exterminator company to come out and get these roaches or whatever. She's like, it's not that bad. You can come in the kitchen and see, and they won't even come out long as this thing is on. And I'm like, girl, I don't know who the hell told you that. Them roaches ain't coming out because we loud and the lights is on. Soon as them lights go off, them roaches is coming everywhere and anywhere. They done been over this whole house. They probably in this couch. They probably under your carpet. They probably in that weave you got on right now. Girl, I am leaving. I got my stuff. I went back to the hotel. I went to the gift shop. I took everything I had on off and I threw it in the trash. including a pair of $1,400 Christian Louboutin shoes. I don't play about roaches. I put on some pajamas that I bought at the gift shop and threw all my clothes away. I blocked her. I blocked her on Facebook. I blocked her on all platforms. You now are the lady with the fat ass with roaches. There's no coming back from that. There's none. I text my brother the whole situation. I don't know why. He roasted me for about 2.5 hours. In pursuit of a fat booty, I almost had an infestation. I miss my brother. One of the coolest people you ever meet. It's been a difficult period, since he passed. But yeah, we're going to keep this thing moving. That was just another horrible dating experience. I'll see you in the next one.